So this is a little bit of a departure from my normal video. Normally, I pick a topic and we talk about it. I have to say I've been struggling a little bit, and I wanted to make a video that shared a little bit of that, hoping that this video reaches someone, teaches someone, allows people to feel not alone. I am a reality TV junkie, and I know that I'm not alone when I say that. I watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I have always known it, like I know the OC to be, like like New York was, but now it's different, has been the white woman show. It's a show of wealthy or somewhat well-off white women. And 5 years ago, Garcelle Bouvet joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and really was a breath of fresh air to be able to see someone like me on a show like Beverly Hills. If you are also a purveyor of Real Housewives, you know that Beverly Hills has a very different flavor than Potomac or Atlanta. And I love Atlanta and I love Potomac, but it really is nice to see a Black woman in Beverly Hills, period. And Garcelle went through a lot, and there were a lot of situations where I felt were reminiscent of situations that I've been in. I've never been in friendships like that. I have and have had and will continue to have good friendships, but what we call microaggressions played out very much so. I'm not going to remember accurately every single moment that I witnessed a microaggression against Garcelle, and some I just didn't even watch. It felt a little too painful to watch, but one that comes to mind is Erica's reference to Garcelle building a house in Bakersfield and having Bose sit next to her. I refrain from discussing politics, but I am one of the 92%. And when Kamala Harris lost, it felt very personal. It felt like my existence as a Black woman in this country is not welcome. And it may be welcome in some realms, right? It may be welcome as long as I am in a certain place where there are others like me, and I don't affect or have any impact in a broader world. And I'm being cryptic for a reason. As any woman would want to do, I am trying to make a mark in this world, and this world isn't just full of Black people and brown people. It's full of all ethnicities, all types of genders, all types of sexualities and sexual orientations. And so the mark that I want to make isn't just in the Black realm. And so that's why it was so important to see Garcelle in a space like Beverly Hills, because it looks like, frankly, any town USA. If you go up to a Black girl who's lived in any city in the world, in the country really, not in the world, she has a similar experience where she was the only Black face at that table, and where that was something that she had to personally overcome, professionally overcome, and sometimes it meant working in spaces where she didn't necessarily feel welcome, and where she had to work twice as hard to get half as far, and where she was told that the accomplishments that she made were because she was Black or because she was a woman. I got into Harvard from high school, and at the time I was student council president. So what that meant was every morning myself and the principal would make an announcement over the intercom about the day. And my principal was extremely proud of me. Thank you, Mr. McCauley. And he announced to everyone in the school that I got into Harvard. Harvard. I'm not repeating that because I made a mistake. I'm repeating it so it settles in how big and huge this was for me, for my family. And I was in the library, and it was during the day, and I studied. I had a study period in the library. And sometimes during that study period, I fell asleep and took a nap. And I had my head on a desk, and I heard a group of white students a few desks over question why I got into Harvard and the valedictorian of my class, who was a white man, had gotten waitlisted. And I think I was number 10 in my class of maybe 200 students. And a few of them said, it's probably because she's Black. Imagine dismissing the years of being a straight A student with the 2 B's on my record at the time. Imagine dismissing having a GPA of 4.8. Imagine dismissing me taking AP classes out of the wazoo while maintaining a part-time job and working most nights until 10 p.m. before coming home to study and go to school the next day, which was a school that was 30 minutes from my house. So imagine dismissing all of that, where I was often the only black girl in the class, in the honors class, in the AP class, what have you. Imagine volunteering my ass off. Imagine running track so I could get into Harvard and diversify my record. Imagine doing all of that and then hearing, after you've made it beyond your wildest dream and beyond the wildest dream of your parents and your family, that you got in because you were black. You persevere, you move on. I did confront them and I said to them, I did all that I could do to make sure that when I applied, I put my best foot forward. And I got in. And I'm grateful, and sometimes I wonder how I did it, but I did it. And it was my merit and everything that I did, my SATs, all of that got me in, not because of my skin. And the truth is, it's probably a little bit of everything, right? It's probably a little bit of, I brought good diversity to the school, to the class, but I also had the grades, I had the personality, the gumption, everything that a Harvard student was supposed to be. And so I did not take that for granted. I do not take that for granted. I've since gone on to do a lot more with my life that, again, requires me to be the 1 or 2 black woman in the room, in the profession. Of all the plastic surgeons in this country, at least, I believe that people of color make up 6% of plastic surgeons. When you look at black women, that number is far lower. And it's not about woe is me. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to convey is that watching Garcelle Bouvet on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tolerate, let's not call it anything else, tolerate the microaggressions that she had to deal with. And then in this, what has become her final season, deciding to leave the show. While it feels like defeat, it also feels like self-care for her. And maybe it's more impactful because there's another black woman who has admitted that she's watched the show. And I don't think the microaggressions were so micro that you couldn't see them, especially if you were a black woman. But she's admitted that she's watched the show and she is finding really great friendship with some of the biggest violators in my mind. What Kamala Harris losing does to me is it makes me worry that this is not something that has happened to women 50 years ago. This is not something that's historic. This is something that's very real and present today, and maybe real and present tomorrow. And I damn sure don't want my black girls, who I haven't had yet, who I don't know who they are and I don't know who they will become, but I don't want them to grow up in a world where they feel isolated, they feel undesired, and they feel easily dismissed. If I go on plasticsurgery.org right now and go to the community of plastic surgeons, I see a lot from really vocal white men who are in support of getting away with DEI hires. And these are some of the men who shape the field of plastic surgery. It really, really is hard to continue to be a part of a community that does not find your presence as valuable off rip. So those are some of the deep thoughts I've had and the deep questions that I've been struggling with. I will also share this. In a world where imposter syndrome is a real thing, it is really, really increasingly difficult and challenging to want to show up and to want to continue to fight with your patients, to fight for your patients when you feel like you're not being valued. On a brighter note, I think I have some of the best patients in the world. They have been incredibly, incredibly kind to them, and I hope that I continue to be a blessing in their lives. I have mentored an incredible amount of medical students, college students who look like me and who are inspired, they say, not my words, by me. And so that is why I continue to do it. And I think that's why a lot of us continue to do it. A lot of us continue to fight in these spaces because we know that if we don't, our nieces, our nephews, our daughters, our sons who look like us won't even stand a chance to walk into the space. If there had been no Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, would there have been a Barack Obama? Would there even have been a Kamala Harris to be able to run and give us hope that she could win a presidency? I don't think so. So that is why we continue to fight. And because we stand with friends, with allies who do value us and who do believe in us and who do believe in our work. In any case, that's just been on my mind. As always, love you lots and bye for now.